A Cairo courtroom struck a blow against a free press today. There was chaos as three of our colleagues, Al Jazeera journalists, were sentenced to 7 and 10 years in jail on terrorism charges that have never been proven and for which evidence was never presented. From their families to the United Nations and world capitals, the outrage was instant.
The freedom of the press is fundamental to not only to a free society, but to any stable or prosperous society. And Egypt has taken a major step in the wrong direction.
Now, the U.S. Secretary of State was in Cairo yesterday and announced $500 million in military aid to the El-Sisi government. Now he's calling this verdict chilling and draconian. Peter Grester, Mohammed Fahmy and Baher Mohammed left the courtroom banging their fists against their cage. They are going back to jail cells where they had been holed up without formal charge for the past 6 months already. Grester's two brothers, Andrew and Michael, were in court today, and Andrew joined me shortly after the shocking verdict was delivered. Andrew Grester, welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
I just want to say how sorry we all are for Peter, his colleagues, and for all of you, family and friends. And I want to ask you your reaction when you heard this verdict.
Well, I was in court this morning and I'm gutted, devastated. It's very difficult for me to come up with, words that adequately describe how I felt because it was, obviously it was a result that we thought I guess was possible, but you just can't prepare yourself, really.
Did you expect it to go a different way?
My hopes were that obviously he'd be completely acquitted. Obviously there was a possibility of a different result, but I definitely wasn't expecting such a harsh punishment. 7 years it's extremely difficult to understand.
Can I ask you, how did Peter and Mohammed Fahmy and Baher and all the others, can you tell me how they reacted as soon as they heard? We heard it was quite loud and quite chaotic in the courtroom.
It all happened very quickly. The judgment was given over. It probably only took about 5 minutes, and the court got rather chaotic once the verdict was announced, and then very quickly after that, the three of them were removed from the cage and removed from the courtroom. So it was only a very short, we made eye contact very briefly and sort of gave a fist pump and tried to signal to Peter that we'd continue to fight on.
And were you able to talk to him afterwards? Are you going to see him in the next, 24, 48 hours?
Oh, there wasn't any opportunity at all to see him, to talk to him in court this morning. But my brother and I both plan to visit him tomorrow. So I guess we'll, try and regroup tomorrow with Peter and see where we go from there.
Can I just play for you parts of an interview that your parents gave us back in April? And this is how they described Peter trying to get through all this.
He said they have their down days and their good days like we do. We have our down days and good days too.
We are pleased to know that Peter is certainly very disciplined and strong and keeping himself very well together.
So that was your parents, saying the most positive they could about him. How have they reacted today?
Well, we're all devastated, and as parents with a child that we believe is completely innocent, been locked up in a jail for 6 months, obviously they're going to take it hard, and we've all taken it hard. So, it's probably one of those particularly down days for us, and it's going to take a little bit of time for us to regroup and think about it, the whole verdict, logically, I guess, and try and develop a plan from where we go next.
Clearly, you're going to appeal.
It's very difficult. Look, all those options are something that we've really got to discuss and get our head around. It's literally been, 4 or 5 hours since we heard the verdict. So it's. I think we need a little bit of time to think about it and digest it and try and determine what the best course of action is from here on in. But obviously we're going to keep fighting it because we believe Peter's completely innocent. He's done nothing wrong, And it's demonstrated by the amount of worldwide support that he's getting and the interest that has been shown in the trial and the outcome of the trial.
And finally, I'm going to let you go. I know it's been a very traumatic day for you and your family, and of course for Peter and his colleagues. Do you think that he will continue to be as disciplined, as positive, as keeping himself together as your parents described, you know, a couple of months ago?
Well, I hope so. He's been remarkably resilient to this point, and an inspiration really to us all. I mean, I'm looking forward, but also, you know, with a certain amount of trepidation about visiting Peter tomorrow, because I, you know, don't know how we're going to find him, and I guess we're just going to have to try and, you know, help pick him up, and you know, give him some kind of hope.
Well, Andrew, keep up the good fight, and all of his supporters will as well. And thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for the support.